What is up, everybody? I'm George Mossey. So 90 Day Fiance, The Single Life, Season 3, Episode 11, which happens to be the finale right before the three-part tell-all starts. We're going to check in with where everything was left off, and we know the explosive finale is going to explain and answer any questions that we are left with from this episode. So it's time for Debbie to leave Las Vegas. She has packed up the house. Well, sort of. They packed a lot, but then they also left a lot. So Colt and Vanessa were nice enough to say anything that they left in the house, they will put in storage for them. And guys, it's a lot. They definitely left a lot in the house. As I was watching them leave, I was thinking, you don't need any of that stuff, like it was plates, the whole kitchen. Anyway, let's not get off subject. So Debbie wrote Colt a letter saying that she will always be there for him. They're always connected, and she's only a 2.5 hour flight away and a phone call away. And I really wish the best for Debbie. She is making a life-changing decision at a different time of her life. A lot of people at this time of their lives are not taking risks. They're retiring, they're sitting out on the beach enjoying life, and Debbie is moving to another country. So my heart goes out to her during this time, because this is something difficult. I think even at any age, especially right now in my life, moving to another country would be detrimental to my mental health. So Debbie, we're here for you. We support you, and we know you're in love, and we know that this decision has given you second thoughts, but we know you're making the right choice. And hopefully Colt will come around and you will see Colt and Vanessa visiting you in Canada really soon. Speaking of other countries, Caesar and Alona are still trying to make it work. Now, it's been a whole month since Caesar has been in the Ukraine, and the war is going on very strong, and it's getting scarier every day, from the things that Caesar is seeing on TV to the conversations that he has had with Alona. He is very worried about her safety and her well-being. It's just not safe for her to be where she is, and unfortunately, there's nothing he can do about it right now. He did say, since they do love each other and she's willing to come to America, he is going to start the process to bring Alona to America where they can be together. And is this going to be finally Caesar's happy ending? We have seen so many times Caesar get caught up in these relationships with these beautiful women, and they haven't always worked out. And we're hoping, fingers crossed, this might be the last time Caesar has to leave brokenhearted from one of these journeys that he has been on. Alona seems to like him a lot, even though they've only spent a few days together. It's really hard to know what someone's intentions are when you really don't even know who they are. So Caesar, we are hoping the best for you. We know that your dream is to make it work with Alona, and we want nothing more than that for you. But at the same time, in hindsight, this is just as crazy as the situation before. So we are hoping that things work out, but we know how life can be and how things happen. So the best to you and Alona, and hopefully we will be seeing pictures of you and Alona in Jacksonville together very soon. All right, guys, so we have watched Tiffany date several different guys this season, and we learned when Ronald reached out and said he needed to see his kids, especially Carly, Tiffany bought a ticket and went to Johannesburg, South Africa to make that happen. Now, was Ronald completely honest about why he wanted Tiffany to be in South Africa? I'm going to say no. Ronald definitely had other motives to getting her there. Seeing Carly was definitely a priority, but he is really ready to work on getting his family back. You guys know it's been over a year since Tiffany and Ronald were together, and they don't know if they can make it work, but Ronald knows that he wants to make it work. And a nature reserve trip that Ronald decided to take Tiffany and Carly on has really shown some progress that he has made. He's really trying, and the way that he has kept his apartment clean and he has redone things and made things better, living conditions for them, it is really showing that he is willing to take strides to change for Tiffany. But at the same time, these strides still don't prove that the lying and the gaslighting and manipulation will change. But Tiffany feels, after she went on these dates and after she would get home from these dates, she realized how much she actually loved her husband and how much she actually wished that she could make it work. So in the end, is Tiffany going to leave the single life back with her husband? It is appearing to look like it's going in that direction. They are definitely working on things. They have decided that their relationship is something that they want to make work and fix. And I think this is the best thing for everyone involved. Carly gets to have her family. Daniel gets to have his dad back. And I just feel like this might be something that will work out positively for everyone. Now, I definitely want to make sure Tiffany knows that her worth is high and she does not need to accept anything but the best when it comes to relationships. And I feel like Ronald knows what he lost. So I do feel like Ronald is going to be working very hard to make sure that he doesn't lose Tiffany and his daughter again. So I do feel like this relationship definitely has hope. Ronald saw what life could be like without Tiffany and Carly in his life, and that is enough to change a man. That is enough to make him change his ways and make sure that he is doing the right thing to keep those people in his life. And he wants nothing more than his family back together. And I feel like exactly what he's doing now, staying on track, making strides, and showing that he can change for the better to make his family happy is exactly what's going to make this work. Good luck to Tiffany and Ronald, and I can't wait to see what they have to say at the tell-all. Are they still together? Are they not? Did they work it out? Did Tiffany get back with one of the guys that she dated on The Single Life? There's just so much to talk about. All right, guys, so the biggest shock of this season was we saw Natalie was dating Josh, and she was trying to get Josh to commit to having kids. She actually met Josh's ex-wife. She went out to Los Angeles to meet with Josh, and she did so much with Josh. Josh. That's all we were seeing. And then all of a sudden, towards the end of the season, Natalie decides to go back to Washington and try and get back with Mike, which actually surprised everyone. No one saw this coming. We actually thought that Mike and Natalie were completely done. We've seen pictures surface online of Mike dating. We've actually watched Natalie on this show and this season dating. So the idea that Mike and Natalie could be an item again is something that caught everyone by surprise. Now, Trish, on the other hand, sees absolutely no future between Mike and Natalie. And she made that very clear at a very, very awkward conversation at Mike's dinner table in his kitchen. And she wanted to know, why did Natalie think that she had the right to come back into Mike's home and ask him to take her back after all that she had put him through? And she felt that Natalie is a user. And Trish feels that Natalie used Mike to get to the US, and the first out that she saw, she took it and she ran and she went down to Florida. And in Florida, Mike was sending her money and she was using a debit card, dating other men while using Mike's money. And Trish can see through all of this. Trish just feels, you're back here now because other things didn't work out and you want to take advantage of Mike's kindness. Now, what we don't know is if Mike is actually going to give Natalie another shot. We do know that Mike was extremely hurt. He had been waiting over a year for her to come back. He was wanting this relationship to work towards the beginning, but now after a year's time, is Mike still interested in a relationship that seemed to have ended so long ago? And I think that's the real question. Trish definitely wants Natalie nowhere near Mike, and Mike is definitely having a hard time understanding his feelings because love isn't something that has an on and off switch. When Natalie left, yes, he was hurt. Did he stop loving her? No, he did not. So when Natalie came back, he is experiencing feelings that are coming back that he didn't even realize were still there. Now, Natalie told him, don't think of anything now. Don't come up with any process of thinking while I'm here. Think about whether or not you want me to come back. And I feel like that's what we're going to learn on the tell-all. Did Mike take Natalie back? Is Natalie living back in the woods with Mike and Trish? Now, if they are living together, there has to be a spinoff show because I need to watch Trish and Natalie living together because that is just something that I must know how it's going because the entertainment value there is so high. I just need to know exactly what's going on. And every time Natalie makes a mistake, I know Trish is going to be there to point it out and make her realize that she is lucky to even be near her son Mike at this point. So guys, we are gearing up for the 3-part tell-all. Yes, I said 3 parts. There's a 3-part tell-all for this season of The Single Life. And we have so many people to catch up with and find out where their relationships are. Are they still single? Have they found their next love? All of the questions that we have will be answered soon enough. All right, guys, I'm George Mossey. Make sure you follow me on all social media platforms at George Mossey and at georgemossey.com for all your 90 Day Fiancé news, interviews, and updates.